everyone. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, the monthly podcast where guest panelists are all Hallmark movie enthusiasts who love to debate, rank, and create definitive top 10 lists of Hallmark movies. It's December, listeners, and we are doing not one, not two, but three shows this month, so buckle up. I'm Lynn Austin, your host, and co-hosting with me today is a key member of the HMD production team, my sometimes friend, usually not. She always pick shames me. I don't know. I don't even draft and you pick shame me. Dr. Stephanie Preschel. Steph, before we introduce today's special guest, tell everyone what the other two upcoming HMD shows are this month.
Yeah, so the first one, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but this was listener requested. We have our Hallmark Hunks in Glasses draft.
Why?
I
Why?
don't know. I don't know.
It's 5 panelists, top 15. It's going to be total chaos. They caught me in a weak moment. But there you have
Yeah,
it. All right.
you're too kind, Lynn. Too kind.
All right. What else?
And then we also have where you and I are going to face off against each other, which we never do. And I think is going to be extra interesting because we normally do not agree on any movie choices. We're going to be drafting the top 5 Lifetime channel Christmas movies out of the 13 that are eligible here. So I actually watched one last night. They just started, and I'm not going to say it was good. It was actually pretty bad. But one highlight was one of my former students was in the movie. I worked at a university in New York a long time ago, and one of my students, I was like, hey, I know that person. So that was kind of fun.
What's he doing in the movie?
He is a like dancer in pajamas, like a model, and it looked like he was having a great time.
I'll definitely look for it. All right. So today's show, we're going to draft the top 10 list with a delicious twist.
Yeah, can we announce the HMD promo code?
What is it with you and Aaron Beth? Top of the show, getting the promo code out. And you already said it. I see what you did, Stephanie. Very funny.
What?
Very, what to me? Yeah. All right. Listen, back to today. We're thrilled to welcome back Dan Abel Jr., Chief Chocolate Officer at Bissinger's Handcrafted Chocolatier. Bissinger's, hands down, is one of the most beloved heritage chocolate companies that make exquisite confections. Dan, I can't believe you're actually sitting here right in front of us. Well, virtually sitting here right in front of us. We're in 3 different states because you have been going like gangbusters since you were here in May. We had a blast, but you've been going nonstop. So tell us what's been happening with Bissinger's since then. Give us all the deets.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me back. I remember the first one we did was, I'm going to upset a lot of people by saying this, but the best podcast I've ever done.
I love that. Yay.
Dan knows what
really
he's
was a lot of
doing.
fun.
And he didn't even win.
Yeah.
I know that's how you can tell how honest I am. And but no, it's been, we had this vision earlier in 2025. It was like December 24 and right into January of 2025 about expanding the Bissinger's retail presence, and so many things had to line up. So January, February, we were getting our feet wet, and then we had dreamed about putting a Bissinger's boutique right in the heart of Palm Beach Island. And in late February, we found a location. So I don't even know if I announced that because it was so hush hush. So it was late February, we found this location, and then there's this approval process to get onto the island, which takes months, and it goes through, not only the landlord, but then the street, but then the city. When the first one passed through, then we had to go to the second, and we had to go to the third. So many sign-offs to open up on the island. It just, for people that aren't familiar, Palm Beach Island is probably one of the most posh zip codes on the planet. Is the best way to put it in a short sentence. It was a passion project for us to be there. By the middle of June, we got approval. But I said, well, if we do this, open a store out of Missouri, Florida, far away, if we go ahead and do this exercise, then might as well do another one. But maybe not until 2026. Like, if we're going to just rip that Band-Aid off about retail out of state, let's be a retailer out of state. And so we had tried to look around for some real estate brokers to work with, and kind of an external team for, within human resources and recruiting and operations management. And we just kind of found all of those people at the right time. And then I said, okay, well, now that we have the team, let's go play ball. So we opened Palm Beach in September, and then I had the opportunity to open up in New York City on the sixth floor of Macy's Herald Square in October. And then just the other day, we opened up like weeks ago our Nashville location, and we have one more this year in Miami.
Wow.
And
Oh
then
my
and then
God.
like 8 next year.
8.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
Damn.
we have decided we are we are growing the retail division in a big way. Yeah.
That's huge to scale up to that from a production perspective, or is everything going
Well,
to still be made
the
in
kind of
St. Louis or
100%. And the way we make Bissingers is not going to change. But one thing that I may not have mentioned, or I did, September, we finished a 2-year factory expansion. So we have been under construction for nearly 2 years, doubling the size of the factory. And as you can understand, it's a massive overhaul. So as we moved into this new space, we're about 90% moved in. There's so much of the area that hasn't been used yet because it's such a massive addition. And it's much taller. It's like 10 feet taller than our existing facility. So from like warehousing space, we have pallet racks that go higher in production. So we have spent a considerable investment, and it's all in the family. We still don't have any outside shareholders or investors that we have invested into this operation so we can scale out. So part of it was, okay, go do a multi-million-dollar expansion. What's the next thing that we're going to do to scale? We've opened one store in 10 years. So this is a really big change for us, and we are so excited. There's been a lot of really great moments in my time at Bissinger's that have been a lot of fun. Some have been crazy, like .com exploded under COVID, and we probably should have been so excited that happened, but it was so stressful because of COVID was happening and the unknown was so crazy. We couldn't really celebrate because we took a multi-million dollar vision and tripled the size of it almost in 2 years. So you would think like everybody should walk around giving each other a pat on the back, but COVID was so stressful that we never really had time to stop and smell the roses. And then that parlayed into a big wholesale expansion, and that parlayed into this. So this is kind of like the a culmination of all of that. I think this is what you do when everything else is firing on all cylinders as you go and do this. I'm just so excited, and the team is so excited.
God, 8 more in 1 year. That's incredible. We have, believe it or not, this little podcast has listeners in 49 countries.
Oh,
Any plans to go
I mean,
outside the
never say
US?
never, but and I've always said this with our, our current distribution model in the United States for general wholesale. There's so many opportunities that we have in the States. We would want to make sure that we utilize as much of that before we go out of the country.
Yeah, and you won't lose the handmade artisan touch of
Well, and
everything.
that's absolutely right with Bissinger's. We are actually, and I've talked about in 2016, 17, and 18, we invested quite a bit of money in some more automated equipment. And we were doing a lot of kind of contract manufacturing for big box retailers. We have gotten out of all of that. Now we have converted all of that production equipment just to making Bissinger's product. And it's so they're running a lot slower than they could at their potential, but you just can't make Bissingers fast. And then some of the ancillary, like automatic bagging lines, we're actually decommissioning. So we're doing the opposite. The entire world is like automation and pouch bags and mass production as much as you can. And I'm actually decommissioning some of these high-speed lines to put in more artisan production lines with a team of 3 to go hand decorate truffles. And when I tell people this, my colleagues in the industry, they're like, really? And I'm like, absolutely. And they're like, you're opening retail and doubling down on handmade artisan. I'm like, absolutely. And they're like, you seem pretty confident that this, I said, it's 100% the vision for Bissinger's. And as long as it's the vision for Bissinger's, it's the vision for me. And they're just like, okay, wow. Yeah, I will never do that. So that's great. But like, it's so contradictory to logic of 2025 and 26. And that's why I know it's the right thing to do. Always go in the opposite direction. That's the Bissinger's way. 350 years, you can't be mass produced. So we're making that change as well.
I love it. It's like, expand and still go back to maintaining, the
Yeah, so
hands-on
we just have
approach.
lines. Every like 10 feet is a team of three on a production line. Where if you go into another chocolate factory, usually there are these massive systems that some in some cases run humanless. Some of these lines, are 150, 200 feet long, and ours are like 30 and 40 feet long, and then 30 feet later. So now the factory has 8 production lines where 5 years ago we had three. And that's instead of just putting two big ones in, we just keep putting another line and another line in. So we're like the king of small batch.
Wow. And I have to say, as beautiful and delectable as your confections are, I have to shout out your boxes. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
bought the box that has the gold seal on it, the blue box, and it opens up
Oh,
the
1668. Yeah.
1668. And I was attracted to it specifically for the packaging because when my husband and I got married, for our wedding invitations that we mailed out, I used a gold seal
Aren't
on
they
the
neat?
back. And so I was like, this is so cool. Why aren't more people doing it? The illustrations are so gorgeous. And I was thinking, you are so hands-on. Please tell me you don't also do the illustrations and the artwork.
So I don't actually draw them, but I storyboard them.
Wow.
Every illustration, we always make sure we do something, like everything's connected to something in a way. So like the one of the gold boxes that we have for holidays called Holiday Cheer. That's actually the front of our one of our flags. Yes, look at that.
Yeah.
So that's
Product
the
placement. Yeah.
that's I like it. That's the front
Way
candy
back there.
case
Yeah.
of one of our boutiques. And so the whole store is a candy case. It's a beautiful store. And then the one to the right, the Christmas at Bissinger's, that's actually the storefront of one of our St. Louis boutiques placed in Paris. It's almost like little Easter eggs, little hints. There's this one box that we feature really at Valentine's Day. It's a strawberry bark, and there's a blonde girl and a little girl. I did that when my daughter was born, when she was like 3 years old. So it's like, I did that for my wife and for my daughter, kind of walking down through a strawberry field. And then there's this cocktails at Bissinger's, which is a blonde and a very handsome guy and dark hair. Supposed to be my wife and I at a bar. We're not just buying clip art. Everything is a hand-drawn illustration. She's a phenomenal illustrator. And so we create this storyboard and a theme and a concept, but she brings it into reality in the most amazing way.
It's beautiful. I could tell that right away. And also, FYI, you are talking to two brunettes here, so enough of the blonde talk, okay? I'm just like,
Don't worry, there's plenty of brunettes in this illustration.
yeah, the chocolate covered cherry one, the Mary Engelbrecht.
Yes, yeah. So that just launched. That's actually so
Just
that's not our
saved you
work.
with
That's a
that
Mary
one.
Engelbreit illustration. But yeah, very excited about that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into the whole gameplay thing, I have to tell you, I have a friend who's very crafty, and I was telling her about these boxes, and she said, "Oh, give me one, and I'll create something with it." And I handed her the box. I was like, "Well, what do you think you're going to do?" I thought maybe she might put a hinge on it or something minimal. And she's like, "Well, first I'm going to cover it in silver paper." I was like, "Give me back this box." You're not covering any of this. That's the whole point. So, I'll find uses for an empty Bissinger's box. They're delicious filled, but they're even better,
Well, and that's what
afterwards.
so many people tell us that they keep the boxes and use them for buttons or jewelry, and we absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's great. All right. So listen, we're going to shift into gameplay mode. Today we're going to draft the top 10 lists of Bissinger's holiday truffle flavors that are found in the Christmas at Bissinger's 16-piece truffle collection and the Holiday Cheer 16-piece truffle collection. And between those two collections, there are actually just 16 different festive flavors, but only 10 can make the final list. So, Stephanie, I'm going to take a break here. Can you tell everyone what the 16 flavors are, please?
Absolutely. So in the Christmas at Bissinger's box, there is the green mint tree, the red caramel Santa, the Versailles vanilla caramel truffle, the Swiss pecan French cream, the solid bee, the Chardonnay salt caramel, the raspberry caramel jewel, the pecan caramel, the eggnog truffle, the gingerbread truffle, the bûche de Noël truffle, the peppermint truffle, the Christmas cookie truffle, and the sugar plum truffle. And then in the Christmas cheer box, there are some of those flavors we've already heard are in there, but the two additional flavors are the raspberry truffle and the double chocolate truffle.
That sounds delicious. I mean, gosh, I'd
It
want
was
to eat one of those.
it was fantastic. This is going to be hard to do. Dan, what criteria do you use when you're deciding like which truffles to go into your holiday assortments? How do you make that decision?
With holiday cheer, what we wanted to do is we took our classic, so the classic chocolate truffle, which is kind of the base for everything, and then raspberries are number one. So we just feel like that should be a part of almost every truffle collection. And then just the macros of holiday, we wanted to focus on what are those just flavor profiles that speak to you for a holiday. And we do this not only for Christmas, but for autumn, for Valentine's Day, for Easter. Peppermint candy cane was just a given, and eggnog, and then we went with Christmas cookie, and then the sugar plum, and all of these kind of as they morphed together. And then we wanted to lean into some flavors that represented Paris as well, because out of 350 years of Bissinger's history, half of that time was spent in Paris, and then half that time was spent in the United States. So Bouche de Noël was a very popular, it's kind of like a Yule log dessert over in in Paris, and of course that Frangelico liqueur that soaks into that chocolate cake. So it was very fun making that product. It was very fun doing the R&D, because the way we do R&D for something like that is we buy the product and we try to represent the taste the best. And then there's some flavors that we think are excellent but don't translate well. We thought these did. And then for Christmas at Bissinger's, we wanted to take kind of the highlights, throw in a couple staples like a French salt caramel and the Swiss pecan cream and Versailles vanilla caramels. Those are so important to the portfolio, bringing those in, but just balance, because we have the all truffle box already. So, kind of that balance between truffles, French creams, and caramels.
I'm like salivating already, and I've already eaten them. And so Stephanie and I tasted all of the truffles in the box, and let's face it, they're all delicious. And just like when you were here back in May, we know it's not fair to ask you to choose like your favorites out of the 16 that are in there, but we need a top 10 list. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're willing to choose your favorite kids, as it were.
And they changed all the time, so that's why I like at the end of the day, what's my favorite this week could be next week. That's why I never feel like I've, punished the kids that I didn't choose.
Yeah. I definitely have my Austin absolutes here. I've got my top three that absolutely have to be top three.
Oh, I
Steph,
like that.
was it hard for you to do your list, Steph?
Oh yeah. It's funny. I actually have, I want to say five that I feel like they better be on our top 10 list that we come up with. I think it'll be really hard if they don't make it. So I'm
Yeah. And
interested. Yeah.
Dan, I'm not going to ask you if it was hard for you because you're such a savvy drafter. I I remember very distinctly how you drew out a couple of vetoes from us right off the bat when you played the last time. So I'm just going to let you keep your little secrets there. Listeners, we've got the top 10 list that we're going to put together. The drafting positions for drafter C will pick positions 10, 7, and 3 on the list. They'll get one veto and a veto override. Drafter B will pick positions 9, 6, 4, and 2. Drafter B gets one veto card only because they get more opportunities to get their choice onto the final list. And drafter A will pick positions 8, 5, and the number one position on the list. They'll get a veto card and a bonus veto card. So basically, they're picking the number one truffle, and they get two vetoes to use in the game if they choose. So normally, Dan, we would have a trivia round where we'd have to compete to see who gets to be drafter A, B, or C. But you're our guest, so you get to just choose. Do you want to be drafter A, B, or C?
B.
Oh, B. Okay. So Dan has chosen to be drafter B. He'll get picks 9, 6, 4, and 2. He gets one veto, but he could have some real impact here because he's going to have four choices instead of three. Stephanie, do you want to be drafter C or drafter A?
Only because I can never get rid of a veto override ever. I'm going to go with drafter A.
Stephanie is going with drafter A, so she will get picks 8, 5, and the number one, and she gets two bonus vetoes. Awfully greedy of you, Stephanie. Really poor form.
I'm not here to make friends, Lynn.
For once. Oh, really? That's not what I heard last month when you were actually drafting on a panel. Um, so I'm going to be drafter C. I get picks 10, 7, and 3. I get a veto and a veto override. And I have a leftover veto override from our match back in May, Dan. And it
Oh, look
is,
at that.
yeah, well, those are impossible to get rid of.
They really are.
So we'll see. So we'll see. But you never know. So let me just mark up my sheet here and I get one more veto override. And that means that, Dan, you are going to be first up in the veto order. Okay. Stephanie, you'll be second up in the veto order for each round. And I will be last in the veto order. And I get to kick off the list. So let's see what I'm going to do here. All right. For number 10, here we go, guys. We're going to put together this fabulous list. I'm going to offer up at number 10 the double chocolate truffle. It's a dark chocolate. It's from the Christmas Cheer collection. What did I love about this? It's very rich. It's very chocolate forward, and it's only chocolate. If you're craving chocolate, this is the one that you want to have. The ganache filling is so lush. It's creamy. This is a truffle that you savor. You don't just pop it in your mouth and start chewing it. This is one that really appealed to me. I know that it's no fancy flavoring here, but it's beautiful chocolate as only Bissingers can do. And this is coming from someone who never liked dark chocolate until Bissingers, and that's the truth. That's the truth. So that's what I'm offering up, the double chocolate truffle. So Dan, you are first up in the veto order. What do you think about my pick? Do you want to keep it? Do you want to veto it? What are your thoughts?
I like it. I think, I think you described it so beautifully, number one, but it is that classic chocolate truffle. And so it's a great seller for us. But then there's better sellers in the truffle lineup because people like some of the pops of flavor. But it is, it's just like it's kind of like when you go to Baskin Robbins and there's vanilla. Like may not gravitate towards vanilla, but it's just so good when you actually do it. So I think it's a great place for it. I like that it's on the top 10. So I say we keep it.
You say we keep it before we get to Stephanie, for your ganache, like sometimes when you get a truffle and it says it has a ganache filling, it's thick and rather not hard, but there's no viscosity to it, for lack of a
Mhm.
better word. But yours is just it's dreamy, you know? What's the
Oh, I like
secret?
that. So there's a few ways to make a ganache,
What's the
and
formula?
yeah, 2 parts this, 7 pounds this. In retrospect, there's fat-based ganache, which is the least expensive, and then there's dairy-based ganache. And the dairy-based ganache is significantly more expensive than the fat-based ganaches. That would be like using an oil, like a vegetable oil, to make a ganache. And then out of the dairy-based ganache, you have butter and then heavy cream. We go the most expensive route. So it's our ganache is made out of heavy whipping cream and chocolate. And there's just nothing like a heavy cream ganache. And so to us, that's the Bissinger's way. That's the only way. In my opinion, as a chocolatier, I think there's a lot of products on the market that should not be allowed to be called truffle. But I am not the judge. I am just the maker. That's that's the situation.
That's the situation. Well, that's
That's
exactly
or
what.
that's the nicest way I could put it, right? Like I have even the other day I was at a store and I tried some product and I threw it. I couldn't even finish it. I was so disappointed with and we're in this cocoa crisis. Chocolate's doubled in price, and you know there's a lot of companies that weren't making a lot of money to begin with, so it's not like you can just take their number one commodity and double it and expect nothing to change. We have not changed a single thing. We have, but there's a lot you could tell that there's everyone's trying to figure out how to make the product less expensive right now on the mass level, and boy, it's unfortunately that you can taste it.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you said, you talked about the heavy cream because I do a lot of baking. And when I make a ganache for a cake, it's literally chocolate, heavy cream, and maybe a little bit of butter at the end just for a sheen to it,
Oh yeah, I mean
sometimes.
butter's
So,
great. Butter
so
makes a different type of ganache, but it's still a very great product. Yeah.
yeah, so it's good.
I mean, we use a
All right.
ton of butter in our caramel and a ton of butter in our toffee. So not absent in our world.
Absolutely not. So hopefully I've distracted Stephanie long enough to, forget that she wants to veto anything that comes out of my mouth, as she usually does. Stephanie, double chocolate truffle, number 10.
Okay, so it's funny. There was one truffle that triggered a memory from childhood, and this was the one. So when I was a kid, my family took a trip to Switzerland, and we were with another family came with us. And while we were there, we did a Swiss chocolate taste test. And so all the adults basically they bought all this Swiss chocolate, and then all of us, all the kids, all the adults did a taste test and kind of ranked what we liked and what we didn't. And we had cocoa bars that were like 80% cocoa. And
Oh
so
yeah.
they were dark. And I think that experience kind of made me not love dark chocolate as much. And so this was good. It wasn't in my top 10. I'm not going to veto. I will say too, all of the dark chocolate in this was delicious. But the first thing I thought also was my parents would love this truffle.
That's what we
So,
love to hear.
um, yeah.
Yay, I escaped Stephanie and her vetoes, which she loves to throw. All right, Dan, that brings us to you for number 9. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna go safe. I'm gonna say milk Swiss pecan cream.
Oh, okay. Tell us about it.
So it's a hold on, I'm keeping notes as I go. It's a really old classic recipe. So Bissinger's makes a French fondant as base, and all of our creams are done with this French fondant. So whether it's a raspberry or vanilla or chocolate, this one has pecan pieces in the chocolate cream. So you're basically just a few simple ingredients. It's fondant, chocolate, pecans, and then it's enrobed in milk chocolate. Each one is hand striped, so it's a round piece. And instead of a decorating machine or topping machine, we actually, with gloves on, tap the piece of candy and kind of draw. And it looks like a 6, but it's a little scroll. And to me, it just looks so beautiful. It tastes so delicious. It's not that extruded pasty cream. The reason people hate the word creams is because there's that extruded grocery store cream. This is a really dense chocolatey center. It's got butter in it, so it's very close to what a ganache is. And then the pecans give it that little level of crunch. So I think it's an excellent piece.
You think it's an excellent piece, but does Stephanie think it's an excellent piece? Stephanie?
Okay. So this also didn't make my top 10, but I
Wow.
will tell you, but this isn't because it wasn't good. It's because they all were so good. It was so good. It was like so smooth. It was like the rich flavor. One of the notes I made, and I actually texted this to Lynn, but I wouldn't tell her which truffle it was. I was like, this tasted like fancier than I am. Like, I don't know if I'm fancy enough to eat this, but it was great. Like I said, it didn't make my top 10, but yeah, I have no problems with it being at number 9.
I have to tell you, Dan, when we were figuring out a schedule for when to do this, Erin Beth, my usual co-host, was like so sad that she couldn't make this time work. And so I said to Stephanie, I was like, so listen, the Bissingers, and she's like, yes. I was like, you don't even know what the question is yet. She's like, yes, yes, yes. What are we
Yep.
tasting? What are we doing?
I love it.
It was great. Swiss pecan French cream. I will say that I'm very happy with this at 9 because I had it as my number 8. So
Oh, there you go.
no problem here. I loved it. I really liked the consistency of the center. I loved that the pecan pieces were just the right size. I know that sounds weird, but
Yeah, they're mini.
sometimes
Yeah, it's there for
they're,
like it's
yeah,
there for
just
like a good time, but yeah, but not the main attraction.
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I really loved about it. It was subtle but present, and so that's what
Mhm.
I loved. Okay, Stephanie. Finally, we'll get to hear something that you chose. Can't wait.
Hey. Okay, so for number 8, I'm going with a more traditional holiday flavor of the white eggnog truffle. So I have a feeling this is
Please.
probably too low, but I feel like something I need
Breaking
to
my
share
heart.
is I don't like eggnog. So the fact that I liked this or like loved this, I feel like is saying a lot about how good it was. I can tell this is going to get vetoed just by the reactions. I mean, it's like a shell of white chocolate, and then I think it was like a shell of, I don't know if it was dark or like
There's a white base, but since there's egg in it, there's actually eggnog, it kind of makes it a little bit yellow color and
Okay.
cinnamon
Yeah.
sugar
And
on top.
then, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Someone veto. Okay, who's gonna veto it?
Well, Dan's first up in the veto order. Dan, what do you
Oh,
think
I
about
definitely will
the
veto. I'll take my veto then.
Dan's
Okay.
gonna take his veto. Stephanie, no doubt this will come back again. So what do you want to play in its place?
What are my spots again? I'm gonna write it.
6 is your next chance to play. You get
Gotcha.
6, 4, and 2. So you still have plenty of runway. Okay, Stephanie, we need a new flavor from you.
All right, I'm gonna go with the dark solid B.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm getting better facial reactions this time. So, this one I actually was expecting that I wouldn't like as much just because I was like dark solid B, solid dark chocolate. But it is sneaky because there is like a cream or something in the middle, and it
Mhm.
was so, so good. I have no idea what the flavor was of the cream. I will say doing this made me realize how much I do not know flavors.
We're moving globally from all solid to it's a French vanilla ganache center.
Oh my
So
God.
you got the preview of kind of the new upgraded piece for that, and we caramelized the white chocolate in there. So what we're trying to do is it's like that approachable piece that everybody loves, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it was great.
That's what's inside the bee?
Hmm.
Wow, because I thought it was caramel. I thought it was caramel.
Well, so it's kind of like there's this. We actually caramelized the sugar in the ganache, and so it's almost like a hybrid piece. I've never seen anyone else do something similar to this. We're kind of letting the market tell us their opinion of it. And so far, we've had really good response. But like, do we call it a truffle? Do we call it a caramel? Do we call it a bonbon? Just kind of generalize it to like dark vanilla bonbon because it truly is almost a category of its own.
Yeah,
Beautiful. It's
it was so
beautiful.
good.
So, Dan, you think you're gonna, well, you have to keep this one. You're out of vetoes. Oh, Dan is out of vetoes, and we're only at number 8. This
Yeah,
is a
but
twist from the last time that you were here. I
I
was
feel
in
like
that
I had
seat,
to. I feel like I had to do it for eggnog.
taking one for eggnog. I have no issues with the dark solid B except for its name because I thought that it was going to be solid dark chocolate. But when I
Yeah,
bit
the
into it, it
packaging
was
is kind of being
beautiful.
updated. Certain boxes it says French vanilla, certain boxes it says B.
Oh,
Yeah,
funny, funny.
yeah.
Okay.
No, whatever you call it, it's absolutely lovely. It's
Mhm.
one of my favorites. Absolutely. Okay, that means that I am up for number 7. Hmm. This is a tough one. All right. For number 7, I'm choosing the Christmas cookie truffle. This is a white chocolate. It's insanely good. This could have been my number 4 easily. I had to find some slots, and this is where it ended up at 7. I am not typically a white chocolate fan, but the vanilla notes and something else that was in this, it did remind me very much of a sugar cookie. There was almost like a dulce de leche to it, and I could be way off on that, but there was some back note in it that I just loved. It was so much
It's
more than just vanilla. You know what I
it's
mean?
that same process where on that one we're caramelizing the sugar as well. So that's where you get that note of that dolce. So it really mutes the sweetness level, and it's a piece that we improved from when we originally created it. Was the white based, and it was very popular then. But I was just trying to tone down the sweetness and give it some more depth, and it's been very, very well received since then. So I'm glad you noticed that because there's a lot of love that goes into doing that.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's creamy. I think my issue with white chocolate is that sometimes it is really, really sweet. And for anyone who didn't happen to catch the May show, Dan, you actually gave us a little education when I asked you, white chocolate, is it a chocolate or isn't it? Can you say
Both,
again?
isn't it? Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
that was the comment I was just going to make. I would say like 80 or 90% of white chocolate is not chocolate. And the biggest way to tell, first of all, if it is not white chocolate, you are not supposed to call it white chocolate, but not everybody follows the rules. The biggest thing that I always say is you can take like a piece of paper and put it next to your white chocolate. If they're very similar in color, It's not white chocolate. If you notice that with the Bissingers, you take a piece of paper and you take that because you're like, no, what are you talking about? This looks like a piece of paper. Put it on top of it. You're like, wow, that is so yellow because cocoa butter is actually more of an ivory color. And so our white chocolate is more ivory looking than white. And you don't really notice it until you put it up against paper.
Well said. So, Christmas cookie truffle with 7, Dan.
I think it's fair. I mean, the thing is, it's a 16-piece collection. And so with the top 10 already narrows out. And I think 7 is great for that product.
7's great. He can't do anything about it, but I
Yeah, I know.
always want to
That's
hear
the
your
other
thoughts.
thing too.
Can't do anything about it. Stephanie, my
Yeah, I had this
nemesis.
a lot higher, but I'm
You've
not
got
gonna veto it. I
you've
mean, it truly tastes like a Christmas cookie. It is so good. And like you said, it makes sense now more like how you're adding depth to it, that there was a lot more to it. One of my comments I wrote was, how do you do that for it tasting like a sugar cookie? So it was great.
all right. Yay. I get my 7 locked in. Dan, that we are grooving right through this. That leaves you for number 6. This is tough.
I'm gonna go milk pecan caramel.
Okay. Tell us why.
So I write that down, of course. Good move. Uh, so it's one of my favorites. So it's basically based on one of the most famous Bissinger's pieces called a bear claw, which is just a taller piece. So I mean, it's wider. It's about twice as wide and a little bit shorter. And it's the toasted pecans mixed with the caramel. That product goes back over 100 years at Bissinger's. And so this is just the smaller version of it with a little bit of white drizzle. And the white chocolate drizzle doesn't do anything for it, just give it a little bit of design to make it different looking than the other pieces in there. But absolutely love it. It's a delicious piece. It's not that holiday centric, but we wanted it in there because it is core Bissinger's. But that's why I wouldn't say it's in my top 5 for this collection. Globally for Bissinger's, it would be, but in this specific collection, I think it should, deserves the top 10, but not necessarily the top 5.
Before we get to Stephanie, I have to tell you, after you came on the show, I did order the bourbon bear
Oh yeah, you were one
claws
of the 150 that
because
those sold out.
I am a bourbon girl, as you know, and I have to tell you, listeners, think of think of the most delicious thing in your mouth and then triple it. This
Those are
was
so
so
good.
incredible. And I have to say, those are not skimpy pieces whatsoever. Those are
No,
like
it's
a
and that's the
good,
bear claw. That's like your
like
typical. It's a good two biter.
yeah, he's oh yeah, it was like a 4 biter. I mean, it's big. It's like not 2 inches, but pretty close. I mean, it's substantial. One of those a day, you are good to go. All right, Stephanie.
One a day.
Breakfast
Um,
of champions.
the milk pecan caramel was one of my favorites. Absolutely loved it. I could eat 100 of them, I think. Awesome. I think this is a great place for it on the list.
Okay. So, I'm going to veto it. It's not on my list. I am
Ooh, that came
competitive.
out of nowhere.
I
Oh,
am
this is the
competitive.
one time I'd want to use a veto override. But too
Oh, do
bad
you have one?
I don't
Oh,
have
you don't
one.
have one. Oh.
I went for the extra veto.
Um, and here's why. We have a pecan caramel on this list. It's pretty similar. Similar, but what are the differences between those two, Dan?
You mean the Swiss pecan? The
Yeah,
Swiss pecan cream is a fondant base, and then with chocolate on the inside, and then the pecan pieces. The
is
pecan
the
caramel
caramel.
is all caramel with pecans, a little bit bigger pecan piece. But yeah, I get it. 2 pecan
Yeah.
pieces, milk
Yeah.
chocolate. So
Yeah. Yeah. Give us something else, please. And it can come back again, just
I'm
not
gonna
at number
go
6.
with the red Santa.
The Red Santa. Okay, tell us about the Red Santa.
Um, those are hand painted, and we use the word paint in air quotes because it's actually naturally colored chocolate, not actual paint. You would think I would have to explain that to people, but here we are. Um,
Oh,
the
just
Santa
wait, Dan. Just wait till our surprise.
The Santa mold was actually a custom mold that we had done at Bissinger's. Almost every one of our molds is custom. And if you look at the little belly of Santa Claus, there's the Bissinger's beak. And of course, Santa is red and jolly. So we wanted to make the Red Santa one of our most classic confections, dark chocolate caramel. Very soft caramel, but love it. Put it in there. I think it's just an outstanding piece. And I'm just kind of being more strategic because it's like it's not my number two pick, but six is a good place for it. Should it be four? Maybe. I'm kind of between the two, but I think it's a good I think it's a good place right there, and it's a very popular piece.
Red Santa at number 6, Stephanie. It's a very popular piece. It's got caramel in it, which you love.
I do, but I'm gonna veto this. I get the why, like from like a holiday perspective. I think for me, I just love milk chocolate with caramel so much. So it was still good. But I
Wow,
think
it's
there's
almost like I got everybody to get rid of their vetoes, or most
I
of
think
I have one more. Just
them.
one. But yeah, I'm gonna veto this. So
I do have an opportunity to get rid of an override here, but I'm not going to use it. So I'll just save it. Once again, Dan, yep, you did. I'm out of vetoes. You're out of vetoes. Stephanie still has a veto, though.
Yep.
Yeah. This PhD over there. Fine.
I up
Dan,
again, number
you're up
six.
again. Yeah.
So raspberry truffle.
Okay, this is not the jewel, right? This is the truffle.
Yeah, that's in holiday cheer. I can use that one, right?
Okay.
Oh
mhm.
yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay,
Yeah.
talk about the raspberry truffle,
So
please.
it's our number one truffle. It's you think of that double chocolate truffle base, real raspberry. So Bissinger's makes their own raspberry flavor. The number one ingredient out of the raspberry flavor is actually fresh raspberries. We cook raspberries and extract that into a flavor itself, and then that gets infused into the ganache. I absolutely love everything about it. If I were to pick six Bissinger's confections out and to make an assortment, that would be in there. I think that's how it warrants kind of that top six for me.
Good choice. Good choice. Stephanie, you have one veto left.
I,
What
I
are
am
your
not gonna
thoughts?
I am not gonna use it. I think this is a great place on the list for it. As someone who loves pink, it was also very visually appealing because there's like the pink drizzle on top, if I'm thinking of the right one. It was so good. It just melted in your mouth. I get why this is one of the more popular flavors.
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
It's so good.
So I love the raspberry truffle, but it's not on my list. I chose the raspberry caramel jewel because that's the one that comes in the 5 pack.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that filling was, are the fillings the same in
Mm.
those two?
One's
They
a
aren't?
liquid caramel and one's a ganache. So the raspberry caramel jewel, which I absolutely love, is more like that caramel Santa, and then
Yeah,
the raspberry truffle is like that double chocolate.
it's like the double chocolate. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Nope, I'm leaving it. I'm not going to veto it because I can't, but I adored the raspberry caramel jewel. And I'm only saying that because I'm not going to play it. So there you go. Okay, so let's give a state of the list before we get to you for number 5, Stephanie. So at 10, we have the double chocolate truffle. At 9, we have the Swiss pecan French cream. At 8, the dark solid B, which isn't a solid, it's actually got a luscious center in it. At 7, the Christmas cookie truffle. At 6, wow, we slogged through it, but we finally ended up with the raspberry truffle. And at 5, Stephanie, what's it going to be?
Gingerbread truffle. So this one also, to me, like this felt like Christmas exploded in my mouth. Like it was so good. It tastes like gingerbread. I love gingerbread stuff. That's one of those things that like gets me in like the holiday spirit. And so I have that at number 5.
I think it's great. I love it. I don't have any room to move things around here, but I think I would agree.
Who hurt you, Stephanie? Who hurt you?
What? What's wrong with the number 5?
It's so low and I cannot stop you.
Um,
Really? Oh, yeah, this truffle is amazing. It's a milk chocolate. It's got this great snap. The gingerbread ganache filling is just so spot on. I love the consistency of it. It's not too thick. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I'm sorry, Dan, but my tongue loved this so much. I was like licking the center out of it. I always need to say something that horrifies him, but there it is. It's so true. It's like you bite into half of it, and then it was just what my mouth wanted to do. This was my number one. Broke my heart.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Womp womp womp. No, good pick. It's absolutely beautiful. It screams Christmas, and all the notes are just amazing. I wish
We're
this
actually
was in
making
a
some right now as we speak. They're running down the line. So
I wish this was sold as a 5-pack, you know,
yeah.
something
So
like
Oh
that.
yeah,
inside
I would
some
buy
of our
it.
boutiques, we keep some of the seasonal truffles where you can do that exact thing. That's why we're one of the reasons we're really expanding in boutiques because there's so many more things we can do at the retail level that we can't do online.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. All right, Dan, number 4. Hmm.
I'm gonna go peppermint truffle.
Peppermint truffle. Tell us about the peppermint truffle.
So it was one of my first seasonal confections that I ever made, and it's been kind of tweaked and enhanced over the years, but essentially you have this white chocolate center. So we really try to emulate what is peppermint bark. So you've got the dark chocolate and white chocolate together. So you got your white chocolate ganache center. So that's that white chocolate and heavy cream, natural peppermint oil, naturally colored pink. So a little bit of pink on the inside, enrobed in dark chocolate, and then it's sprinkled with candy cane on the outside. So you get peppermint mint on the inside, and the crunch of the candy cane on the outside with that smooth dark chocolate. And it's just my go-to. I just love it, and I feel like we can't create a holiday collection without it. You know, there's needs, wants, and haves, and this is like a have to. And I think to me, it's should go higher, but I only have 2 and 4, and I'm going to put it there. But is it should it be higher? Should it be like it would be my number one, but someone else has that. Uh, so I'm going to play this one as number 4.
Stephanie, the peppermint.
Okay, so I also have it higher. So I'm going to use my other veto
There we go. I
so
like
we can
that.
play it
I
higher.
I appreciate you doing that for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorites as well. So I absolutely loved it.
I love this.
Look at this
Mm.
synergy playing
It's
so
just so
nicely.
good. So
Oh, I
good.
got I got it. You know what I'm gonna do?
Oh
Oh
no.
boy. Now we're all out of vetoes, Dan. So whatever you say stays.
Raspberry caramel jewel.
Eh.
Yes, yes, yes. What was like the whole inspiration behind raspberry? Was that a legacy flavor that came
So
from?
the raspberry caramel is a legacy product, but it's the size of the bear claw. And so for these collections like this with the smaller trays, we weren't bringing one of our best pieces to the table. And I didn't want to just make another small raspberry caramel because then it's just, doing the same thing. So I wanted to take it in a different symmetrical mold. We do this kind of a red splatter uh, drizzle that goes on top. It's all kind of hand done. Just give it a little bit more dimension and color. And then it's that really soft raspberry caramel. So unlike the traditional chewy raspberry Bissinger's caramel, it's really soft. On a macro level, some flavors, some artificial flavors taste really good and really representative of like the real thing. Like lemon oil, but like fake raspberry is pretty lousy.
Mhm.
And people kind of have this when they hear raspberry and chocolate, sometimes they don't really get it. But then when they try a Bissinger's raspberry, they have this like out of body experience. Like, what was that? Oh my God. I'm like, well, you finally just experienced what real, fresh, delicious raspberry should taste like. And we win people over on that piece more than not, or more than almost anything. So again, it's a very limited edition piece. You can only find that in a couple select confections. It started in 1668, that blue box, and it was just one of those standout pieces where people are like, I want that. So I've been bringing it into other collections and absolutely love it.
It's just incredible. Stephanie, I saw your reaction. Tell us why you love this one too.
Oh, it's great. I mean, all I can add is it's because it's like a little bit of like a thinner shell I
It
think.
is, yeah.
And like I felt like the like the inside, the caramel part was like a little bit thinner too. It just like tasted like dainty. It was like I'm gonna have like a light truffle, and I don't know, it was great. It was delicious. So, and the presentation on it is all, they're all beautiful, but this one I feel like really stands out.
I love it. Yeah, I agree.
I love that you said you felt like it was dainty because once again, I have no shame. This was another one where like the tongue just goes in, you want to just lick the center right out of it. It's very sensuous. This truffle is just amazing.
Yeah, it's not
And
overly sweet. I mean, I know it's made with
yeah,
sugar, but it's just the
yeah.
flavor, the acids and the flavor. It's just all, I think, marries so well together.
Yeah, and this was actually it's ranked for here, but on our first draft back in May, when we were ranking a whole assortment of Bissinger's chocolates, this was number two on the
Yeah,
list, on the final list. So we're pretty
I would
consistent
say
here.
it almost is worth me number two, but I'm holding out for something else.
It's hard. It's hard. All right, so here we are at number three. Hmm. Considering that my number one was already played, this is going to be tricky for me. And I feel that peppermint truffle is going to come back someplace here. So I'm really torn because I can play my number two or I can play my number four. And I am hoping that if I play my number two, someone else will play my number four, and it would be a beautiful thing. So here we go. I'm giving it a shot. I am choosing at number three the Versailles vanilla caramel. Now,
Oh,
I know this is not a holiday flavor here, but oh my God, this this caramel is so luscious, so sexy. It's incredible. And I swear, I could be crazy, but I swear these different caramels are different viscosities, you know. I could be dead
for
wrong.
sure.
I don't,
No,
they
you're
are.
absolutely right. I mean, the molded ones versus the chewy ones, absolutely.
This one, I don't know what you do to this, but this is incredible. If I could only eat one chocolate for the rest of my life, it would be this one.
So I think I've said this before, like everybody says, what's your favorite piece? And a lot of times, like the top two or three changes, but at the end of the day, if you said there's one piece that's it forever, it's going to be the dark Versailles vanilla caramel. And dark over milk, but I mean, milk would come in second place for me. And I think I probably chose a milk for this box because there were just more dark pieces like the truffles. So it was just a balancing act. Everything you say to me is great. And why is it like why does it hit? It's probably the least amount of ingredients in almost any confection. So it's just sugar, a couple types of sugar, butter, whipping cream, milk, and vanilla. And the reason we don't just call it a milk caramel, we really call it the vanilla caramel, is because of that really amazing high quality $300 a gallon vanilla that goes in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, vanilla is just so expensive. It's been so expensive for a long time. So it's one thing that people really skimp on. And I always pride ourselves that we spend like 2,500 bucks a week on our vanilla for that exact reaction. Like you wouldn't a good caramelized sugar and whipping cream and butter is really good, but when you use the right vanilla, it just makes it perfect.
So do you do like a Madagascar vanilla
Yeah, it's a
or
Madagascar bourbon
not
vanilla.
a Tahitian? Yeah, so I'm big vanilla fan. I buy vanilla beans, very particular ones. I would love to come and just play in your factory. Just
A lot of fun.
whip something up. All right. So Dan says yes. Well, you can't
Yeah, I can't
actually
say no, but I
you can't
think
say
it's
no. And
supportive.
actually you can't say no. We're all out of vetoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Stephanie, did you like this one? Was this one on your list?
It was. I loved this one. I wrote down, if heaven could taste like something, I think it would taste like this. It's awesome. It was so good. I think it's already come up, but I love caramel and milk chocolate with caramel in particular. And so I love that there were so many of those options between the boxes. Um, and I'm excited that another caramel got on the list. So
Very
I
good.
love caramel, so that's
yeah.
not gonna hurt my feelings.
So good. Hey Dan, this is your final pick at number two. What's it going to
So
be? I'm
uh,
surprised that there are two that aren't on this list yet.
so here's
So
where I'm at. I'm gonna pick I have fallen on the sword for this one, but I'm hoping that the number one pick is what I'm hoping it's going to be. So I'm hedging. I'm going to give up my number two but here we go.
Yeah, no pressure, Stephanie.
I'm going eggnog for number two because I feel like it deserves top three status. And we just have to make sure that number one pick we're all aligned. No pressure, but you'll really hurt my feelings if you Yeah.
The eggnog truffle. So Stephanie, you vetoed this. No, Dan vetoed this
I
when you
vetoed it.
played
Yeah.
when Stephanie played it at number 8. Is there anything more that you want to say about your eggnog truffle feelings, Stephanie?
No, I knew I was going to come back as soon as I saw both your facial reactions.
Well, I
So,
just think that the gingerbread truffle, which I absolutely love, and we actually did a tweak to it in 2022 to kind of bring it to the next level. Like it was not in the top 5 holiday truffles, it was number 5, and we brought it to number 2 or 3 because of some tweak we did. So I love that product, but the eggnog truffle, in our opinion, is the most realistic of the product ever. The gingerbread cookie truffles, like if you actually go eat a gingerbread cookie, there's so much of the crunch of the cookie and the consistency of the cookie that you get where the flavors kind of come second. It's kind of like eating watermelon. Watermelon's about eating is like the melon, the flavor, you don't really know how to describe water. Is it juicy? Is it tart? Well, it's not really tart. Is it sweet? It's just like it's watermelon. And that's in a way what gingerbread cookie is. But eggnog, when you bite into that eggnog truffle, you know what you have. And that's one of the reasons I just love it so much because it's so true to what it is.
I love this truffle. It was not number 2 on my list, but it is on my list. I love nutmeg, and the nutmeg notes
Nope.
were coming through on this to me. I also love that it wasn't overly sweet, being a white chocolate. It was
Mhm.
just beautifully balanced. And honestly, one bite into it, and I was ready for Christmas. All it needed was some rum in that truffle. And I'd be okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do one more recap of the list here before Stephanie either makes us happy or crushes our spirits. Honestly, Dan, I never know with her. She's made some wild ass picks before, so
not
yeah,
wrong.
just really kind of my eye is twitching, and that's why. So at number 10, we've got the double chocolate truffle. At 9, the Swiss pecan French cream. At 8, the dark solid B. At 7, the Christmas cookie truffle. At 6, raspberry truffle. At 5, the gingerbread truffle. At 4, the raspberry caramel jewel. At 3, the incredible Versailles vanilla caramel. And at number 2, it's the eggnog truffle. And at number 1, Stephanie.
So I'm not going to play my number one that I have on my list because I want to make sure that the peppermint truffle comes back. So this was actually my number two. To me, this is like the perfect truffle. Like no notes. So good. It's perfect. I don't know if it's actually like crushed candy cane or peppermint on top. But
You just
I
made my day.
so I would say like my two favorite like chocolate flavor profiles are dark chocolate with mint and like milk chocolate with caramel. And so this was like it was outstanding.
Thank you. That kind of put me in the truffle business back in 2009 when I started getting into, I only did seasonal truffles and I started with peppermint, or started with pumpkin, then I went to peppermint, and those two did so well, it put me in the business. And now we make 32 everyday truffles plus seasonal. I mean, it's just, so had that peppermint truffle that I created not been good, we wouldn't be in the truffle business. And so it's a special place in my heart. Plus, I just love eating it.
It's incredible. It is, my notes say it is addictively delicious. It's the luscious peppermint creme filling. It has itty bitty bits of peppermint candy cane that are both chewy and a little crunchy at the same time.
Depends on the
Probably because,
year. Humidity can
yeah,
really get to it. So, like the last batch of the year will be the crunchiest, but our stores in Florida might be a little bit softer. So, everyone gets a different experience with that product.
It was a beautiful sort of blush color overall on the inside, and it just screams Christmas cheer. I just loved it so much. It this was number three on my list, but could have easily been my number one. It was so refreshing. I instantly wanted to have another one, like right away. It was
That's
just
what we like
so
to hear.
refreshing. So yeah, it's a winner. Again, this is one that I would say, I wish this was like in a 5 pack. I would just buy like the pack of truffles,
You never
kind of
know, a little bit
thing.
of market research as we speak.
You never know, you never know. This was so much
It
fun. This was
was.
so
I just
great.
loved it. I can't believe how quick this went by too.
Well, we're not done yet, Dan, because we got to show you what we did.
Oh,
But no, the drafting part is absolutely done. Before we get to revealing what our personal lists were, Stephanie, can you screen share the photos that I sent to you? So, Dan, Stephanie and I did the Bissingers Paint Your Own
oh,
Santa, which is incredible. And we want to show you Stephanie's Santa and my Santa. You won't know whose is which. And then we want you to choose the winner. Who did Santa best? Okay. Oh yeah, I know.
do I get to see without, is this a double blind test?
It's a double blind. Yeah, you won't be able to see.
Okay.
You'll see Santa A and Santa B, the fronts and the fronts and the back.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Can you make it out, Dan?
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
That
Right.
is extremely well done.
So that's Santa 1. And then Santa 2.
Okay, Santa, can you go back to Santa 1?
I think there's a pretty obvious winner.
And then Santa 2. And then one more time, Santa 1. Okay, one more time again. Sorry.
You're good.
Oh my gosh, I have
Literally dying over
one
here.
last time.
I say, Lynn, you should play like the Jeopardy music or something when you edit.
Throwing a
All right, I'm
sting.
gonna go with Santa 1, but so Santa 1 I think has more detail on it, and I just appreciate how the bow is tied and the toys, the bow is in yellow and the presents are red, and I like the all red jolly, and but the reason, and so when I first saw Santa 1, I was like, nothing can beat that. It's over. But then Santa 2, the reason it was so difficult because he looks jollier, and like, and I just appreciate that so much. And I really, really like that's why it was so tough. So, but I'm gonna stick with Santa 1, but not because Santa 2 wasn't great. It just the Santa 1 had more detail.
Oh, Santa 2 was not great. That was mine. Don't worry.
No, I did. I really
struggled.
thought he looked jollier in
Yes,
Santa 2.
Stephanie, mine looked like it was possessed. My eyes were like all
It
wrong.
just
I
it,
showed it to Ken. I showed it
it
to my
was
But I
husband,
thought
and he's
they're so great. Like I'm so impressed
like
with
it was
both of
really
them.
fun to do. I'm also just not a great painter. Like it was hard, like hard in like a fun way, not like a,
Yeah,
so to be able to do it. But does
so,
the Santa shape like change every year or is it the same
same
Santa?
mold.
Same. Okay.
Yep, same mold.
so this is listeners. I weighed this, Dan. This is more than a pound of chocolate. This is solid chocolate, and
It is semi-solid. It should be about a pound, but
it
sometimes they
was
get
yeah, it was like a pound and plus 5 ounces. Math is hard, but there
Oh
you go.
wow.
That's what it was. Um, and it was so much fun to paint. But I do have a question. What's
Supposed
the
to be.
back part supposed to be? First,
Is
I
that his
thought it
bag of
was,
toys? His bag? Is it?
is that the rest of the bag on the back?
I think it's the
No.
bag. Is he
Show
holding the bag?
yours. Show
Here,
your stuff
I'll look
because
at, so
you'll be
I
able
didn't
to
end
see
up
it.
painting that part. Hooray.
At first, I thought it might be a tree. Maybe he's standing in front of a
I
tree,
thought
but
he's
there was
holding the
no green
bag.
paint.
Is it?
Is it the back?
Because it does look a little bit like a tree.
It looked a little like a tree. Then I thought it was a chimney, so that's why I painted mine brown and put some snow on it. I wasn't
So it
sure.
looks like he's holding the bag and like there's a toy coming out of it. But I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I went with chimney, snow-covered chimney. Either way, this was a blast to paint. We
Mm-hmm.
absolutely had
It was
so
fun.
much fun. And the I've never painted in chocolate before. It was beautiful. It was easy to work with.
Yeah, and
Everything is
it's
in the
naturally
kit.
colored and it's I mean we create the paint ourselves, so it's a really, it's very unique to Bissingers. And they're very, very popular. I mean, I think one thing we notice is when we sell those online, we rarely sell one. Usually we're selling, two, three, four, and five because people are getting them for their kids and grandkids, and it's a whole experience.
It was so much more fun that no offense to the gingerbread building of the world, but this was just something lovely and different to
Well, I mean,
do
just
for an
as
activity.
like the Easter, we're actually building it with Thanksgiving because it's something to do Thanksgiving Day. But really, you have Easter is such a like dyeing eggs and decorate. The Easter paint a bunny is the number one by far. But then Santa, it's the same thing. It kind of complements the gingerbread activity. That's why we chose those three holidays. It's a very, very popular item. I always say that like Bissingers is going to create it, which we did. And then we will get copied at one point, but we haven't yet. At least that's something I haven't seen globally because the paint is very difficult to make. And the whole concept is very expensive to put together. But to us, it's like worth its weight in gold because people just absolutely love it and tell me stories like this. So I love hearing it. I thought it was so cool that you showed me that. I thought that was really neat.
Well, office decor coming your way. Hang it up with pride. We'll put our ages down too. This is Lynn's.
Death
And
age.
yes, cross out that age. And just going back to what you said about your white chocolate, the disc absolutely was not the color of the paper, and that was the first thing that I noticed when
Yeah,
the red, the yellow, and the white and
Mm-hmm.
brown discs. And there's plenty of chocolate too, more than enough. So
yeah.
we just had a blast. We have just a couple more things. So let's reveal what our personal top 10 ranked lists were. And Stephanie's going to try to score our match to see who wins. So once again, if your truffle makes it onto the list at all, it's a point. And if it makes it onto the list in the same position that you have it on your personal list, it's an extra point. So 2 points. Okay. So Dan, let's start with you. What was your personal list ranked? 10 to 1.
Oh, 10 to 1. Oh my God.
10 to 1.
So let me rewrite it for the let's see. I had it's pecan caramel was 10, Christmas cookie is 9. I went really heavy on the truffles. Bouche de Noel was 8. Raspberry truffle was my 7. Swiss pecan cream was my 6. Red Santa was 5. Raspberry caramel jewel was 4. And then I went gingerbread is 3. Eggnog was 2, and peppermint. So my top two played.
Your top two were played. Yep. And Raspberry Caramel Jewel was played in the right spot too at 4. Let's talk about the Bouche de Noël. So I have made one before. I've made growing up, my mom used to make me one for my birthday every 5 years because it was very labor intensive.
Oh wow.
She'd do the meringues. Yeah, I've got pictures I could show you. She'd do the mushrooms out of meringue on the top and just really lovely. This one didn't make my list. I'm not sure why. I think it was lovely. What was the flavor that you said was in it?
Frangelica liqueur.
Frangelico, yeah.
Part of
Yeah.
that, when you put enough frangelica in there, it makes it thinner. So
Yeah.
it like the Bouche de Noël is very like dense, cakey. I always say it's like the watermelon thing, just like we talked about before, is the flavor, I think we nailed it, but you lose the consistency of that Yule log cake style that you can't replicate in truffle form.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Steph, I'm going to read my personal list next to give you kind of a heads up, okay? So for 10, it was the double chocolate truffle. At 9 was eggnog. At 8, Swiss pecan French cream. 7, Christmas cookie truffle. 6, I loved this one, the Chardonnay salt caramel. And I said, "This is delicious. I want to know more about the Chardonnay." What's like just really lovely. That was 6. At 5, the raspberry caramel jewel. At 4, we didn't talk about this, and I'm really surprised it didn't get played. I could have played it instead of the Versailles at number 3, but I really thought one of y'all was going to play it, but you didn't. The sugar plum truffle. Can we talk about it
Oh
for a
yeah.
sec? Oh my gosh, this is so good. I was really curious to see if the sugar plum flavor would come through. And Dan, I have to tell you, I don't know if you're a hard cider fan at all.
I
I'm
do
not
like hard
really.
ciders.
So this is 1911 sugar plum, and it's
That's great.
fantastic. Like I don't like a lot of sweet stuff, and this one isn't really sweet, it's more tart, but you really do taste the sugar plum in it, though.
That's
Just
fine.
wanted to share that with you. That's not coming your way. That's not going
Everybody
into
wants
your
to be like
office.
Bissingers.
I really do. So that was my number 4. At 3, I ended up playing the peppermint truffle. It easily could have been my number 1. At 2 was Versailles, and at number 1 was the gingerbread truffle. I just loved it so much. Okay, Steph, it's all you now. What was your personal top 10?
All right. My number 10 was the solid B. 9, the raspberry caramel jewel. 8, eggnog truffle. 7, raspberry truffle. 6, the Versailles vanilla caramel. 5, gingerbread truffle. 4, the pecan caramel. 3, the Christmas cookie truffle. 2, the peppermint truffle. And Lynn, I also loved the Chardonnay salt caramel. That was my number 1.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
What did you like about it?
Everything. I This was one that I love that it was like a thicker caramel and that the salt on top was like so granular. It like looks like a sugar dusting, which I thought was at least that was my that was what I thought it was. I'm getting nods from Dan, so that's good.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's one of the it's one of the most popular pieces that Bissinger sells. We do a salted caramel collection. It's one of the most popular pieces out of the candy case. And so, absolutely great choice. I think I went more seasonal because and I'm like in the factory, so I don't necessarily I can always get a Chardonnay salt caramel and a pecan caramel and a Versailles vanilla caramel where the seasonal confections only come out once a year in my world. So that's why my list was more seasonal focused. But
mhm.
these are still all of our creations. Everything you said, I absolutely adore.
So this Chardonnay one, is it in the caramel 5 pack? The salted caramel 5 pack or
It
no?
is the milk and
It
dark.
is?
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, so Stephanie's going to try to add up our score. So to give her a little time, I have a question for you, and then you and I will do like a quick 5 festive lightning round question. So
Mhm.
Dan, if Bissinger's was to create a special Hallmark movie drafts truffle, what would the flavor profile be? Now that you've
I
been on the
think
show twice, what would it taste like?
I think it's going to be a caramel based product. It's going to be the Versailles vanilla caramel base. Um, and I think we would find some special topping to make it as unique and fun as you.
Oh, there you go. I love that. That's great. Thank you. All right. So Stephanie needs another second or two. So Dan, let's do a little lightning round here. A fast 5 festive lightning round. Question number 1, hot cocoa. Is it marshmallows, fluff, or whipped cream?
Marshmallows.
Holiday soundtrack in the kitchen. What's playing? Bing Crosby, Mariah Carey, instrumentals only, or something else? Tell us.
Probably Mariah Carey. There are a lot of women in my house.
Yes, I love that.
Oh, they're all good. All right. Favorite holiday spice?
Um, Probably cinnamon.
Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie?
Absolutely.
Yes. Good answer. Good answer. All right, last question. You say you're a peanut M&M's fan. It's your favorite chocolate next to Bissinger's. How many different peanut M&M colors are in a standard US bag today?
6,
Name them.
yellow,
Yes.
green, blue, brown, yellow, green, blue, brown, red, and orange.
True fan.
Did you ever see the Family Guy episode where I'm sick and tired of these gray M&Ms?
Yes. Yeah. I told my husband that I was going to ask you this question. He was like, ask him about the blue M&Ms. Does he remember when they did the blue peanut
We had to call
ones?
in to choose that one.
You did?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
yes,
got to call in
that's
to
right. Is it?
choose. Yeah,
Yeah. 1995 or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah. He
on a
looked it up.
landline.
Too funny. Too funny. You are such a good sport. Okay, Stephanie, what are the results here? How'd we do?
All right, pretty good. We all had 7 or 8 on the list. So in third place was myself. I had 8 on the list and one of them in the right spot. And then Lynn, you also had 8 on the list and 2 in the right spot. And Dan, you had 7 on the list, but 3 in the right spot. So Dan and Lynn tied with 10 points each.
Tied for first, as I
I
said.
love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, you guys, this was such a blast. I hope you come back again. I don't know
Oh, I'd love to.
what more we could possibly draft or
There's a
do
lot of
with
there's a
this.
lot of seasons.
There's a lot of seasons. I have to give a shout out to your glacé orange enrobed chocolates that are just amazing and perfect for Christmas. Absolutely. Never seen anything like it. Listeners, be sure to use the HMD promo code on bissingers.com. That site is visually gorgeous. The confections are amazing. It's perfect for gift giving or to treat yourself. You can get a 15% discount using the HMD code now through December 31st. Be sure to follow Hallmark Movie Drafts wherever you get your pods. It's available everywhere. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Meet up with us on Instagram. Leave us a review on Spotify and Apple. It really helps other Hallmark movie fans find the show. Coming up on December 16th, it's the first ever Maxi Mega Draft that Steph mentioned at the top of the show. 5 panelists drafting the definitive list. Ugh, I don't know why. Of the top 15 Hallmark movies in which the Hunky Hall star is wearing glasses. That's all I can say about that. It's going to be chaotic. And Steph and I will be back again towards the end of the month to draft the top 5 Lifetime Christmas movies out of the 13 they're dropping this year. Not gonna lie, it's been a slog for the first couple, but we're gonna get through it. So once more, for the final time, here's the definitive ranked top 10 list of Bissinger's handmade chocolatier holiday truffles as drafted by Stephanie, me, and Bissinger's chief chocolatier, Dan Abel Jr. Here we go. At 10, double chocolate truffle. At 9, Swiss pecan French cream. At 8, dark solid B. At 7, Christmas cookie truffle. At
Yep.
6, raspberry truffle. At 5, gingerbread truffle. At 4, raspberry caramel jewel. At 3, Versailles vanilla caramel. At 2, eggnog truffle. And at number 1, the peppermint truffle. Great job, everybody. Let's all say bye, but don't go anywhere. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Hallmark Movie Drafts is a monthly production. Like the show? Leave us a review. Spread the word. Help Hallmark movie fans find us. Follow the show at Hallmark Movie Drafts on Instagram. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. We just started one. It's free, I promise. Stephanie Preschel creates the movie synopses using descriptions from IMDb or Hallmark.com as a base. Kate Baca, she creates and vets the list of eligible movies and manages our Letterboxd account called Hallmark Drafts, where you'll find the movies for each show, as well as the final top 10 lists and the panelists who drafted them, so you know who to blame. Erin Rempe and Jackie Finestone help with special projects. Erin Bass-Cermak, she creates the trivia round questions and, along with Stephanie, Kate, Erin, and Jackie, provides additional creative, research, and hosting support. Me? I'm Lynn Austin. I'm the showrunner, producer, and host. I staff the panels, manage the show topics, the production schedule, and the HMD socials, and I edit and publish the podcast. And none of this would be possible without the Deck the Hallmark podcast double-deckers, who share their passionate opinions on these Hallmark movies that we love or maybe not love so much. See you next month.